Hello, everybody. Welcome to our very first Squad Talks. I'm Solux. I know you guys have seen me around. I don't know if you know that I'm actually the media director here for the church. And then I'm here with my lovely assistant. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Eikenlady.
Yes, she is on the media team and she is a powerhouse of a woman. So I'm very excited that you said yes to getting interviewed so that people can get to know who you are, because you do so much for this place and this church, which is exciting. SquadCon is going amazing right now. For those of you who were playing Fall Guys last night, yes, that was my favorite thing. It was chaotic in the Discord and I had so much fun playing. Like I kept losing instantly, but it was still so much fun. What's been your favorite part of SquadCon?
I will take a quick note on that. So I actually popped in, but I wasn't playing. I was just listening when there was no stream happening. And so I can just hear you guys talking about all of this stuff going on. And I can't see anything. I'm just editing and
mass chaos
cracking up. Right? Yes. I still have to say, I think the chat adventure game, like you guys stepped it up so much from what it was before. It was absolutely incredible. So props to everybody involved in that, because that was so great.
Yeah, so much fun. They somehow word got out that I had a pirate costume, and that's how I ended up being in it, because they're like, you have to wear this. I was like, okay. So it was fun to connect the Colorado footage to the Virginia footage. So yeah, super fun. I'm glad you liked it. All right, well, let's get into this. Let's figure out who this lady is. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm 30. I live in Indianapolis with my husband of 6 years next week. So so that's super exciting. I joined the media team in 2021 in April when Seraph was still here. And I've been doing it ever since. My career, I'm a web developer and work for a leadership and learning consulting company. I also edit 3 different podcasts and co-host one about remote work and leading and working on remote teams.
Yeah, every time you say what you do, I'm just like, how is there enough time in the day to do
Sometimes
all this?
There is not.
True.
Time management is a skill. That's all I got.
Yeah, but definitely. Now, when you say what your job is, it's really hard to like fully understand what that even is. So give us like a bigger glimpse as into what it is.
What I do or what the company does?
Both.
Okay. So what I do, I specifically work inside of WordPress. So, which means nothing to a lot of you, but basically what it means is when you go to any of our company websites, and we have like 20, it's insane. But when you go to any of those websites, I built it. I maintain it. I keep updating it. I do functions for it. I do all kinds of stuff. So that's that. As far as podcast editing goes, we have 3 different podcasts. Excuse me. I edit every single one of them. I do our video editing, our audio editing. I put it up on Libsyn, platform that we choose to use. I also make clips that we put out on social media to advertise it. And then as of March is when I started co-hosting one of our own podcasts, which has been pretty exciting. And as far as what our company does, so like I said, we're a leadership and learning consulting company. So we teach people how to be better leaders, better bosses, better communicators. And on top of that, we also teach people how to lead and work on remote teams, and have been doing that for 10 years. So we're pretty skilled at it even before the pandemic occurred.
Yes, it's awesome what your company does. And I think it's amazing that there's even just a focus to that. Like, hey, let's make people be better leaders and things like that. So this woman knows a lot. Like, I'm just like, I want to take you onto staff and just have you like fill us with all the wisdom of like what it takes to be a leader. And I love what you bring to the team and all of that knowledge that's in there. Like anyone could use it, you know, whether you are a streamer or a parent or you own a company or you work for a company. It's really cool to see that side of things. So I just realized like my chat is way over here. If you see me looking this way, I'm trying to read what the peeps are saying. So yeah, that's awesome. So like you said, you're from
Indiana, so Indianapolis specifically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody else from Indiana, chat?
I think there's a lot of Indiana people in GSC. I know sometimes people say something about Hoosiers or whatever, and it's just like, oh, hey, there are some of us.
That's awesome. It's like inside terms where you're like, I know where you're from now.
A little bit.
Nice. Okay. Is it really hot there right now?
I have an echo, but it's over there. It is 88 here compared to when I was in Phoenix last week, and it was 114. This is nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
hot. That's 88 is much better. We just had a random, like it poured, almost hailed for about a minute, and then it went away. Now it's all sunny. So that's what's going on here. Cool. So you mentioned a little bit about your family. Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so it's just me and my husband here. No kids, yet. No cats, dogs, anything like that. So it's just us, but both my in-laws and my family all live in Indiana, just in different places. My dad's up in northern Indiana. My mom's in central Indiana, and I see her about once a week, except for recently when I've seen her a lot more than that. So yeah.
Awesome. And you and your husband are inspiring because you make sure that you guys go on date nights, right?
Yes. We've, I don't remember where I learned it, but it was something that basically was like, you should do an intentional date night every Thursday, or not every Thursday. We do it every Thursday. I call it Thursday.
Thursday.
But
I like it.
But yeah. And so it was like, we hang out all the time, but it was like, okay, but let's be intentional about this. And so Lux, I know you and I have talked about this a lot, just, well, you can't always go out, and you're absolutely right. Sometimes it's just not in the cards, but like we'll get together and we're going to play board games today, or he and I are going to get together and play Overcooked today, or we tried Genshin Impact one night and just, his office is downstairs and mine is upstairs. And so we both got on Discord and like had a stream going so we could watch what the other person was doing.
Oh my gosh.
And just chat the whole time, even though we were all in tutorial levels and
That's
could
amazing.
not actually play together. And like going to farmers markets, or let's go to the bookstore real quick, or, something. So it's been really fun to try and get really creative and see different things that we can do. And one of the highlights that he actually planned a couple weeks ago was a Lego flower bouquet. He found it on Amazon and we put it together, and it was beautiful, and it is now on display in my living room.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How cool. Yeah, that's awesome. There's sometimes like I'll say, hey, can you post this on social media real quick? And she'll be like, okay, but I have date night. And I love that you make it a priority in your life. So that's great. All right. So what are some favorite games that you like to play? Obviously, we're a bunch of gamers. What do you play? Of course.
Yeah. So I really love Sims 4. I'm a huge fan, although I will admit I'm one of those people that I'll play a lot for like a week and then I'll put it down for 3 months or until the new expansion pack comes out. So there's a little bit of that. I loved the Assassin's Creed Odyssey game. It was my favorite. It's my very first PlayStation Platinum. I play a lot of Pokemon Arceus right now. I'm in the post game. I'm trying to get the Pokedex completed, so that's been pretty exciting. Animal Crossing. I know I played Miles Morales not that long ago. Just lots and lots of different types of stuff. I don't play any FPS games. They make me motion sick. But if it's third person, I'm there.
Nice. Yeah, I know you get very excited about Sims, and I know nothing about Sims.
Oh, we could chat.
If
you're ever interested, we could chat.
That's awesome. Very cool. I see. I'm going to throw a question on you that you weren't prepared for, because I am Prepong is wondering, how did you get saved / meet God, which I think is a great question.
That was not quite a question I was prepared for. So full disclosure, I did not grow up in a Christian household. It was not that there was anything like against it. It was just not done. I'd go to church with an aunt or a cousin or something like that, and it was not a big deal. But I will also say that I have probably been saved multiple times. For me personally, I don't think that I've had one pivotal moment. Like, this was it, and this is when everything changed. Because I'm going to be honest, I've had times that, churches have failed me or people have failed me, and like something just rocked everything, and I just walked away for a bit and came back. So thankfully, like, we have a loving God that will always welcome us back with open arms. But I'm not sure that I really have like one pivotal moment that I can say, this is when it all changed for me.
Yeah. And that's totally fine. I think a lot of us can have a very similar story to that. And I agree with you. It's awesome that God is very forgiving and will always welcome us back into his arms, which is amazing. Cool. Very nice. So let's see here. How long have you been around this community?
Yeah, so I joined GSC like midway through 2020. It's kind of a long story, but essentially when lockdown happened and I have asthma. And so my husband was very like, you can't leave the apartment. Like, we can't leave, you will die. And so I was like, if I'm going to stay here in this apartment all the time, I need to figure out something that he and I can do together, some way to bond, so that way I don't go absolutely insane. And so I'm a huge podcast listener. And so one of the things that I did was, okay, my husband's interested in games a lot. I'm just mildly interested here. I'm going to listen to some video game podcasts and try to learn about the industry so I can talk to him about it. Well, from there, I found What's Good Games, which is actually the shirt I'm wearing. And they're great in case you're looking for a podcast of some incredible women. And from there, found out about Twitch, which I was not familiar with. I knew of it, but I'd never really hung out on it before.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, well, they're cool. I like this channel. I need other channels to follow. And through a Google search, I ended up finding Susie's channel, hung out there for a while. And then from there, he was like, hey, like, there's the SquadCon church thing. And so I joined from there. So probably actively from like midway through 2020.
Nice. See, this is a perfect example of how God took COVID, a bad thing, and used it for good. So many good things came out of that time, I feel like, when people were searching for online community and you found us. That's awesome. Cool. So, well, you kind of already answered the next question. How did you find GSC? Which is totally good.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's good. So, how are you currently plugged into God Squad Church?
Yes. So currently plugged into the media team, as we already said. So I started off just doing sermon videos, and now I'm doing clips. And now if you're on the social medias this weekend, please share, like, subscribe, all the good things. But yes. Any of the clips that you see this week probably were mine. So that's a lot of what I do for there. I'm also involved in the women's ministry. I'm inside of an experience group and have been for over a year now. I also did assistant for experience groups last time, and I was a coach for a semester. So, yeah.
Nice. Gosh, you say it all so fast, like it's nothing, but it's so much, guys. Like, she has definitely devoted a lot of her time to helping make sure that this church can be better than what it already is, which is awesome. And yeah, in my team alone, like, it's crazy that she's on other teams, but in my team, she comes in, and I love this because I obviously have the responsibility of my team to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing, but you also help me stay on track of things. You're constantly asking questions. You're bringing ideas to the table, which is amazing because I would say it's very easy as a volunteer. I've been a volunteer, simple volunteer, where it's just like, yeah, just tell me what to do. I'll do it. But then there's these other volunteers that are like, hey, I want to like dream dreams, hit goals. And that's also amazing as well, because my brain is constantly focused on, I don't even know how many projects. So when you come in and you're like, hey, remember the social media thing? I'm like, oh, right. Yeah. Thank you for helping me.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
I just tried to pop a cough drop, so maybe that'll help.
Okay. But yeah, so it's just amazing what she does. Social media, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's actually like, it was awesome doing so much. And then it just like died for a month. That's because Eikenlady wasn't around. Like, she has a life, and she has been very busy with her family and stuff. And so like, I just can't do it. Like, if you're not here, I can't do it. So it's so nice to have someone that you can fully trust. In fact, I can trust her so much that this for SquadCon, I was like, I gotta get ready for D&D. I gotta do all these things. You just take social media and you do whatever you want. And to be able to have that kind of trust in one of your volunteers is awesome and incredible. So I thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you for trusting me to do it.
Yeah, of course. So like she said, if you guys are not a part of our social media, please do so. We are everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Yes, we just started TikTok. We also started something called Gab. I don't know if you guys know what Gab is, but we just started. So there's like nothing really on it.
I was going to say that's news for me.
Yeah, I know. You don't even know. So yeah, go ahead, hit the follow buttons, hit the like buttons. We definitely try to do what we can so you guys don't necessarily need to be in the streams and in Discord all the time. You can just follow social media and know kind of what the church is doing, and keep up with it that way. Also, if I want to take this time to remind you guys to clip your favorite moments, especially here at SquadCon. We can see in the timeline when you guys clip things, and she will go in there, watch those clips. She can pull them out, make a cool video, and then post it to social media. So it's a lot easier to just pull a clip while you're watching, like, oh my gosh, that was so funny, than having to watch a 7-hour-long stream and trying to find the golden moments, So make sure you guys are clipping.
Yeah, you guys help us out so much with that. So thank you for those of you who have already been doing clips.
Yes. And I want to remind you to take a picture and put it in Discord of you attending SquadCon, being with your dog, your baby, whatever. I took pictures of my baby. Do that, because we'll also post that on social media. Like, look at SquadCon, it was awesome. Sweet. Okay. Next question for you is, what would you say to someone who is on the fence about getting plugged into God Squad Church?
So I know that when I first joined, well, first of all, I would say don't necessarily expect that you're going to be like in one specific place. I joined the media team to work on the website. Full disclosure, doing clipping and stuff was not part of what I thought I was going to do. I had some experience with video editing already, so it wasn't that big of a surprise. But when I was talking to Seraph, he was like, actually, we're going to put you here. And so I had started to do the sermon clips or the sermon replays, but like sermon clips, had no idea how to do those. Putting captions on, had no idea how to do that. So one of the biggest things, especially those of you that are like thinking about media team, if you don't know how to do it, we will teach you. Like, as long as you have the tools or a tool, you don't necessarily have to have the exact same tools that we all do, but we will teach you how to do it. So please do not be afraid. And even with that too, like, I know when I became an experience group coach, I was like, okay, like, I know you need coaches, so I'll raise my hand, I'll volunteer, but like, what do I do? And thankfully, Boz was really helpful to be like, these are the kinds of questions we want people to ask, and this is the kind of stuff that we want to know. And I don't know if any of my experience group coach people are in the chat, but hopefully I did okay. So yeah.
Nice. Yes. It's so funny too, because the website has just kind of been pushed back here. It's like, yeah, that's a big project we need to get to at some point. So you're still on the website team, even though we've done nothing with it.
Yeah, I'm in the wings. I'm ready.
Yeah, you are ready. But yeah, we've been focusing on other projects, and it was so cool to see your growth go from, I'm a website person, to, hey, I'll do social media, just teach me the ways. I'm not a graphics person. Oh, hey, there's this thing called Canva that you can just easily use. And then you're like, well, I can also try editing video because my husband helps. So he helps you kind of learn, and other video. Right. It's really cool to see all of you guys who do edit. Like, if you find a tip, like we were trying to do all the subtitles on all of our clips, because that's what people do, because you don't always get to listen to it. You guys found hard ways to do it, and then you found easier ways, and you were sharing with each other all the tips and tricks on how to do it. So you guys are constantly learning new skills that will always help with this kind of realm of online media and stuff, which is amazing. And then you took what you learned here, and then you even implemented it in your own job.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So one of the things that I learned, and so personally, I use Adobe Premiere for those of you that are familiar with that tool. And Adobe Premiere will let you do an automatic transcript, which then can become automatic captions for a video. So I learned how to do that for the caption videos. So that way, excuse me, we had captions on our sermon clips. And once I learned how to do that, it was like, well, wait, we could do this for some of these podcasts that we're doing. And now we can have captions on top of those. And so that's been really incredible. And especially with the podcast that I co-host, because, obviously I'm invested, like it's partially my show. I want it to do well. So I've been making clips with those captions on it, and I would not have known how to do that without this church.
Yeah. So cool. So then her job is like, well, you see this skill, let's just give you a job doing this.
Yes. Add it right on top of the pile of everything else I do.
So awesome. And I think that's totally, God sees you serving and he wants to bless you. So he took those skills, implemented in your job, and has just tied it all together, which I find incredible. This woman's heart for God is awesome too. She definitely wants to make sure that gamers know who God is. So in the volunteer team, we definitely, of course, have skills that we either have or we're trying to learn. But the most important thing is just that passion for God, because I think passion will get us wherever we need to go. Whether we know how to do something or not, that passion will get us to grow and grow and grow and get us to a place of where God wants us to be. So I thank you so much for your passion and your faith as well. All right. So we have, let's see, one last question here, which is, what is something that God is currently doing in your life / speaking to you that you would like to share with this community?
Sorry. I think one of the biggest things, I know that you mentioned, like, I've been helping out with my family a lot without getting super into it. My mom had a lot of medical issues. So that's been my life for like 3 months. I was in her apartment every day, working up a hotspot. It's not ideal. And one of the things that I really missed was this community. And there were some people that were messaging me on Discord and we would chat here and there. But the idea of like coming into Twitch and hanging out in the Reconnect or hanging out, just all of these other places, I couldn't do. And I really missed doing that. And even, our experience group has taken a hiatus this semester for a bunch of different reasons. And I'm also finding that I'm really missing that too. So it's just this idea of like remembering that community is a really important part of your walk and being involved in it. And in some ways, I wish that I were involved more. I'm in text chat all the time. You don't always see me on video. It's why for some of you, this is the very first time you've ever seen me. So that's also something that I really like to do more as I go into the rest of the year and hopefully as my life kind of settles down a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. I could see how being so involved and then all of a sudden it disappears, it would definitely feel like something was missing for sure. And so it goes to show that online community is true community, because
absolutely,
you're growing, you're learning, and you're gonna miss it when you leave it. So yeah, we love having you here in this church. I think there's a lot of people that don't know to thank you for so many parts of this church, because we have all these. That's what the media team is. We're the background team that just hides in the shadows. No one really knows about it, thinks about it, but when something goes wrong, but yeah, that's true. If something goes wrong, they're like, oh, this is media team doing.
Right.
But yeah, it is just amazing to see your devotion to it for sure, which is great. So I'm glad you guys got to know a little bit about her. We do still have some time. So if any of you have questions for her, maybe you could type it in chat. We can ask about
I was gonna say, and I can't see chat, so this could be really interesting. No, I
cool.
cannot. Yeah, I left all that on my desktop and I am on my laptop instead.
Okay, nice. Well, Snow Katrina says thanks for all you do.
Of course.
Yeah, so nice to have a face to the name. It's true. It's weird. You see this name and you see them typing, and then you start to think like, well, what do they look like? And then you finally see them, and it's usually like, oh, that is not what I was picturing.
And I have posted pictures like for SquadCon or for other things before, so I was really surprised when people were like, I'm excited to see what you look like. I've posted before.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. For me, it's hard to be in the Discord chat all the time. Like it's like chaos. There's so many people in there. So
yeah.
All right, Susie, coming in with a question for you.
Oh, okay.
He says, what's been one of your favorite moments / memories being a part of the community?
I think one of the biggest things, and granted, part of it was because I was on the media team. Waymaker last year was huge. I had never been involved in anything that large before. I know that particular week, I actually thought that I was going to not be available to help you with clips and all that kind of thing. And, you know, things worked out and I was able to be there. And there was a little bit of that high of like doing all these clips all the time and oh, how do I do a recap video? I don't know. Let's find out on the fly. And, you know, did 4 days worth of that.
It was very chaotic and very on the fly.
Yes. But it was so much fun to, you know, be a part of that and feel that energy and to be watching some of these things and going, oh, that's content. I need to clip that real quick. And, you know, and then seeing the number at the end and that we, you know, not only accomplished the goal, but like we surpassed it. And that was just absolutely incredible to watch.
Nice. Yes. That was like you said, chaos. That was like okay, I don't have a plan. I just know I want to post things. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure our DM thread just
yeah.
Like we got out of the regular messages. Discord. It was just you and me.
It was great. But that's another thing about some of the teams we have. There's no perfect plan either. Some of it's an experiment and you got to get in there and you got to see if it works. And if it does, awesome, keep doing it. And if it doesn't, you learn and then you try something different. And I know the media team is definitely like that. I think
Instagram Reels has been a huge experiment for us and it's been incredible.
Yes. Eikenlady figured out how to get us like 3,000 views on our Instagram Reels.
All we had to do was post them. Imagine that.
I was like, what? This is a thing? I didn't know. Yeah. So, so I don't know if I probably can speak for the rest of the ministries that there's always a piece of experimentation behind it. But yeah, if you guys are fearful at all to basically serve is what we're talking about. If any of you want to serve on a God Squad church team, but you are at all fearful, like, oh, I don't know how to do it, or I don't know what people will think of me, or I just don't know. Totally put that fear behind you. That is from Satan. God wants you to be a part of it because, like I said, it's experimental. We can always train you. And we work better as a team because the church is made up of different parts and we all have our different roles, right? So if there's just a couple of us doing it, there's only so much we can do. But the bigger the team gets, the more we can do, the more gamers we can reach. So we need you guys to be a part of these teams. So if you're at all interested in joining a team, you can definitely go to the website. You can fill out a form and just say, I'm interested. And then one of us will contact you and be like, cool, let's figure out where to plug you in, what to do. You can say, I'm a website designer. And then we can see like, no, we're going to have you do social media instead. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see. Are there any other questions in here? It doesn't look like it. She's a gourmet cook as well. Are you talking about Eikenlady?
I don't know about gourmet, but I cook a lot.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it. I used to have a Foodstagram, but I do not post on it anymore. But if you, I know I should. But yeah, if you want to see some of the stuff that I've made, go to Instagram and go to Wannabe Home Cook.
Wannabe Home Cook. Nice. I love it. A cook. What'd you call it? A cookagram? I don't know.
A Foodstagram?
Foodstagram. Gotcha.
It's the official term.
Every time I see pictures of food, I get inspired to go cook something. But then I go in the kitchen and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, I post pictures usually on my Facebook page. So I'll have people that like I haven't seen in months and I'll see them in person. They're like, oh my God, I saw those enchiladas you made. Oh my gosh, they look incredible. And I'm like, okay.
You're famous for your food?
A little bit, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm a pretty creative person, but that is one place I'm not creative is when it comes to food.
It's the only place that I break the rules.
Nice. That experiment. I love it. All right. Well, I think unless there's anything else that you want to share or talk about with the community.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys had fun getting to learn a little bit about Eikenlady and one of the gals that is here. very much so involved in our community. We have a couple of other squad talks coming up, another one today where you guys get to meet more people, so it should be a good time. But yes, Eikenlady, thank you so much for your time here in this interview, and then your time just serving this community and getting to know people and having fun and playing with people and leading them in everything that you do. I am so grateful for you.
Thank you so much for having me.